No, this is what you stand for. This is what you are. You can own it. You can own it. They hate you. They hate this country. And yet they won't leave. We know who you are. I can't let this one slide, friends. And I think once you learn what happened to a patriotic restaurant in Virginia, in Richmond, Virginia, this past weekend, I think you won't let it slide either. A group of Richmond communists held an anti-Fourth RAGEFEST as the rest of America was celebrating its 250th birthday, when one of the RAGEFesters allegedly, grabbed a can of spray paint and headed across the street to a restaurant that loves America, and this is what they did. It's a gross story. It's a many-tentacled story, but we are going to pull the thread and we're going to find out where this anti-American fascist event was held, which restaurant, the Patriotic restaurant that probably deserves our patronage, where they're located and what their reaction is, and follow the money because this was a fundraiser for the far left. Who's going to benefit from this? So stay with us as we pull that thread and we unveil what the commies were up to while the rest of us were having a dang good time celebrating freedom. Hey guys, if you're new around here, my name is Terry. I am a fed up Gen Xer and a ticked off Virginian. And if you're interested in how the left is trying to destroy this Commonwealth of Virginia and along with the rest of America, you have come to the right place. Hit that subscribe button. Smash it, baby. Smash that subscribe button. Stick around. Things are moving fast around here and we want you to be part of it. Let's get right into it. So, as you do, I was spending some of my holiday weekend, Sunday to be specific, scrolling through Facebook when I came across a friend commenting on this thread. So I am not friends with this man, Dave Saunders, but he is the owner or part owner, or he has some involvement with the Texas Inn, which is a chili restaurant in Richmond, Virginia, and has other locations. We'll look a little bit more into them in just a minute. So one of my friends was commenting on this post that was put up by Dave Saunders on Sunday. And Dave posts, while our employees were off celebrating America's 250th, some clown decided to write "Death to America" on Texas Inn Richmond's patio wall during an anti-Fourth fundraiser at Banditos last night at 12:26 a.m. The concert promoters are coming back to paint over it tonight. They know who did it. I have security footage. If it's not repainted to my satisfaction, charges will be filed. I've never been this angry. This is not surprising. This is Richmond, but it's always a good reminder that they hate you. They hate this country. And yet they won't leave. There's some great responses down there. There's a lot of great patriots in Richmond, which was lovely to see. Like, file charges, name them and shame them, and I'm of that. And then the commies get in there too, and they're just like, it's just one person. No. This is what you stand for. This is what you are. You can own it. You can own it. You might as well tattoo it on your head. We know who you are. Anyway, I wanted to take a look at who Texas Inn is. This is who we're talking about. These are the ones that got the "Death to America" scrawled on their patio. So here we go. Texas Inn, they've been around since 1935. These are people that have been around for almost a century. They are the backbone of what America is all about. Therefore, they must be loathed because they are Texas in Chile. They have locations in Lynchburg, Cornerstone, which I think is Lynchburg, Harrisonburg, and Richmond. So this happened to the Richmond location. Now, why? Why would they be targeted other than the fact that they're just across the street from where the anti-Fourth fascist commies were having a rage fest, because that's all they can do. Maybe because it looks very much like the Texas Inn is quite patriotic. Now, this is just your garden variety patriotism that you love to see from your local restaurant. Obviously, they love America. Chili dogs, apple pie, Coca-Cola, it doesn't get more American than that. They also seem to very much appreciate their workers. So if you scroll through their Facebook page, and again, this is Texas Inn, if you scroll through, they're just the kind of business you want in your neighborhood. They employ people, they look like they're a family, and they love America. That used to just be the norm, but when the commies get a hold of that kind of thing. So we don't know for sure that they were targeted because they were an outwardly patriotic restaurant. But I think, 2 and 2 often does equal 4. Now, where in the world did this silly commie rage fest originate? It's not too hard to figure out. It is over here. Bandito's Burrito Lounge, which is located also in Richmond, just across the street from the Texas Inn. They apparently rent out the Diablo room. They bring things in, and they very, very proudly, so we're scrolling through some of their crap. We are this right here. This is the Anti-Fourth fundraiser. Sally Rose, who I believe is one of the bands, part of the band, one of the bands that played that night to raise money for. Just you wait and see who they're raising money for. Just you wait and see. Don't go away. Sally writes, because she seems like a lovely woman, we are a disgrace of a country. I feel like celebrating nothing but the power of community and mutual aid. We are all immigrants, and no one is illegal on stolen land. Join us in raising funds for Richmond Community Legal Fund and a ripper of a show tomorrow. Now, it might be hard for you to see, but there's a little dagger there because they cannot like anything that is beautiful and true. It has to be destruction and death. They're a death cult. So Sally Death Cult Rose, is that her name? Yes, Sally Death Cult Rose. Here's the fundraiser. We got Snoopy peeing on an American flag. Oh, I don't know how Charles M. Schulz's family and estate is going to feel about that. So this is what we're doing. We're having an anti-American commie rage fest. And here's some of the bands involved. They're the cream of the crop. I don't know why they're not household names. Let's take a look at them. All right. Yeah. Oh, white liberal women who are angry. Wow, that's new. Soy Boy. I'm not even sure what that is. Yeah, her. So these are the people that were involved in raising money for fellow commies. I didn't care enough to look in because they're so predictable that they would like every illegal in here, and they're going to get themselves killed. They're Renee Good type people. Like, we're going to get ourselves killed. But what they did was to raise money, and one of them, this is the thought, we don't have proof, and we don't have specific names, but one of the people who was at this Anti-Fourth fundraiser went over, took it upon him, her, itself, we don't know, they self, who knows, to spray paint death to America. So that's kind of what was going down in Virginia, as most sane people were celebrating the fact that we are free. So that's Banditos. I don't know anything about it. If you're in the Richmond area, let us know. Drop me a comment. I don't know. Maybe good food. Maybe keeps very poor company. It clearly is not hiding the fact that they are a part of this. It's got Banditos Present, so obviously they got some issues there. Now, the next little bit in our story is, who is this benefiting? Well, it is benefiting Richmond Community Legal Fund. There they are. So it might be hard to see, but in their logo, which I cannot enlarge, but in the logo, it is wire cutters. So they're violent right off the bat. This is not some sort of symbolism. Oh, no, these are people who are violent. They're going to use any means necessary to inflict mass illegal immigration on the communities. And I mean, just look at them. Just look at them. They're everything that you think they are. Let's look at their Facebook page, because they're so utterly predictable. It's the sad part about it. Like, this could be Minnesota. This could be the heart of Minneapolis. This is Richmond, Virginia. Could be the heart of Minneapolis, however, because they are so dreadful. So here's their page. Yep, very proudly going to be the recipient of the funds of the Anti-Fourth fundraiser. Now, do you think that maybe somebody got like the special privilege of doing the Death to America spray painting as like a special giveaway or something? We don't know. We're very low on the specifics. Now, what Dave Saunders, who with the Texas Inn, did say in his post that he had talked to let's meet the team over at the Richmond Community Legal Fund. Let's see if there's any surprises in there. Oh, there is not. We have our lead soy boy. Charlie Schmidt is apparently a sitting delegate. He's the head of all this. He's exactly what you thought he was going to be. Oh, we got Kaylin. She's the very definition of white guilt here, and probably has no idea what she's doing, but there she is. She's going to let every illegal into Richmond that she can. She's not going to put them up at her house, though. We can be sure of that. We have Leah. Leah is, I don't know. I'll take a guess. VCU grad is my guess. VCU grad. I don't know why I'm saying that. I mean, there's just something about her that say screams VCU grad to me. And then we have Rebecca. Rebecca is definitely either the HR nightmare of your dreams, or she is the teacher from hell that you don't want your kid to have. So that is who's behind this. Now, I was digging around on this last night, and I cannot find the post that I saw, but one of the posts did indicate that the money raised that was going to the Richmond Community Legal Fund was going directly to help the Prairie Land defendants. Now, who are the Prairie Land defendants, you ask? Well, they're these people. These are the Antifa. So these are cousins, the Antifa cousins of the Richmond RAGEFesters. And they are the ones who just recently, leader of Antifa cell members in North Texas sentenced to 100 years. This is the Department of Justice talking about a terrorist attack that took place on July 4th, 2025 in the was a Dallas area, I believe, something like that. So let's listen. Today, the Justice Department announced that 8 North Texas Antifa cell operatives, again, these are the brethren of the people at Banditos in Richmond, Virginia, who were sentenced for their roles in rioting, using weapons. They like wire cutters and daggers, especially because we've just seen that. Providing material support for terrorists. That is what this whole legal fund in Richmond is set up to do. Obstruction, definitely obstruction. You got to think that this legal fund probably helps identify if ICE is in the area, which unfortunately it's probably not. But if it is, they're going to be there. They're going to be there to put ICE agents in danger. And probably dox their families if it gets to that. We've got 70 years, 50, 50, 50, 50, 30. And we have Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche saying the sentences handed down today make clear that Antifa terrorists who attack law enforcement and federal facilities will face swift and uncompromising justice. Their violent extremism has no place in our country, and the Department of Justice will continue to aggressively investigate, disrupt, and prosecute those who threaten law enforcement officers or undermine the rule of law. So, just to recap, we have what I would say is a very likely Antifa cell in Richmond, Virginia. There's probably a very active one, and a subset of them got together as the rest of us celebrated the 250th. They are full of rage. Anything that is true or beautiful or godly, they need to destroy. So, they got together and they raised money. The moral of the story is, be aware of who's around you. When these people tell you who they are, believe them. Richmond, you've got a problem. Virginia, we've got a problem. They are here. Now, this is no surprise. VCU is churning out commies at a very fast pace. They are not just spray painting. They are dangerous. They are dagger, wire cutter wielding people. So you got to know who's among us. Now, again, I don't know what happened. I'm going to try and keep you updated on what happens with the story. I do not know if the patio was cleaned up over at Texas Inn. I sure hope it was. People said, make them paint it red, white, and blue and press charges. So hopefully there's going to be a good update on that. I don't know if we can get the Department of Justice to look at this. And the only thing that stands in between them is Abigail Spanberger. Anyway, that's all I've got for you this time around. But I want to know what you think. What should happen to these people? What needs to happen to that person? Anyway, again, all I got for you this time around, and hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful 250th anniversary birthday celebration. It was hot. It was hot. It wasn't fun. It was hot. But go America. Go Virginia. Be sure to drop me a comment. What should happen to the commies of Richmond, Virginia? Be safe out there, guys. Bye.